Oh, 1, 2, okay. Peace, peace, peace. I need more people in here for this one. I'm not speaking on a goddamn thing until I get at least 7 to 10 people in here. All right, that's four. Just need about six more. Who is this? You know. Peace, peace. What's good? What's good? Yeah, this would be an interesting one. This is how interesting it is. If I don't get to like 7 heads up in this live, you know what I mean? I might not speak, but I might. 4 people. All right, I still got four. At least get to five. At least get to five. A lot of people might not even heard this word, essokinesis. Essokinesis. What the fuck is essokinesis? We're gonna find out. We just need at least one more person to join this live. That's waiting. You know what I mean? Might start, getting into it a little bit, but I really want to have like an actual audience to interact with this. But I might go ahead and just get started since y'all here. But basically, what I'm saying, the secret art of essokinesis. Who is it? Not, I don't know what it is. Peace, peace, peace. All right, back. The secret art of essokinesis. Now, what is essokinesis? If you look in the dictionary definition, it basically means the ability to manipulate and control reality. Therefore, the ability to also manipulate, influence, and control possibility. So, the so-called people that many people call the Illuminati, the elite, the government, whatever you want to call the people that are operating in the shadows behind what we know as our experience here on earth in this system of capitalism, government functioning and everything. These people are cultists. They are psychopaths. Oh, we had seven. What? Oh, we had eight. Okay, peace, peace. Yeah, they're psychopaths. They are demonic in nature. And I'm not going to get into all that, but basically, how they operate is they have to harness human consciousness for their own benefit because they're the few, hence the 1%, right? Since they're the few, they have to control the many because if the many were to somehow become aware of their inner God power, which is the mind's power, you know, they will be subject to their own destruction by universal law, not even just by the collective consciousness of humans' retaliation against the evil that they've been perpetuating for, hundreds of thousands of years, right? So, with this secret art of essokinesis, this is what they use to pretty much trap human consciousness into a matrix, not just the matrix in a metaphorical sense, like in relation to the movie, which is a documentary. It's not even really just a movie or entertainment. That shit was a documentary. But anyway, they use their fucking knowledge, ancient psychological knowledge, which is all, based in scriptural texts, spiritual texts of different cultures around the world from indigenous, people. They use this knowledge to pretty much encapsulate our consciousness, not only to trap us and make us their slaves, but they do it so that they can harness our energy and not just harness our energy, but use our energy to manifest and bring forth their desires into this world, this physical world, because we all share this physical world. This is a Earth is a physical realm, is a physical space that we all coexist in. You know what I'm saying? Together, codependently. So we all are co-creators here, right? So since we're co-creators here, we all have the ability to modify and change the experience here, collectively or individually for our own personal experiences. So those who we refer to as the so-called Illuminati, the elite, there's nothing elite about these bastards. They're less than fucking dirt underneath a trash can, you know what I'm saying? But these individuals are aware of this inner God power of the mind. This is why they attack the mind continuously all the time by way of essokinesis, which is the art of controlling one's reality. You see, one's perception of reality. But if you control the perception of someone's reality, you ultimately do control their reality. Because if you can train somebody how to think, if you can program somebody how to think, their very thinking changes their biology. It changes them chemistry, them biochemistry, the biochemistry, the neurological processes, and even the physiological processes to a degree. It changes that, no matter how subtle it is. So that's why, when you see a lot of us on here, talk about raising your vibration, thinking positive, more affirmative, and just really using your imagination to envision yourself being, doing, and having what it is that you really want. That's powerful. And this is the information that the average person that you might come across in your life outside of your daily living might not even have the slightest clue about. And as soon as you start to talk to them about the shit, they're going to look at you like you're fucking crazy. And that's only because they're trapped in their essokinesis, which is their manipulated reality. And they take that as the absolute reality. You actually have people out here that still believe that there is only matter, there's no spirit. They only and they believe that they're not even sure about life after death. They never seen ghosts or spirits, anything, or had any, inward sort of experiences that proves that there's some divine force governing this, such as having experiences in meditation, epiphanies, realizations, whatever. A lot of the average person truly has not even come across this knowledge, even though it's readily accessible through the internet. That's even more proof of how a lot of people's minds and consciousness has been trapped by these dark, evil programmers of human consciousness. I don't even like to call them Satanists no more. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just I just call them exactly what the fuck they do. They program human consciousness from behind the scenes with the media, news, the music especially. So let me go ahead and just touch on this real quick. Like for the most people, like most people that's always saying, oh, music is just music, especially when in regards to rap and trap. Music is just music. Oh, they don't mean that. Yeah. These rap niggas, they always calling women bitches and hoes. They don't mean that. They just saying that in the song. It's just a song, motherfucker. You listening to that shit and you letting your kids listen to that shit. You just programming you and your own children to pretty much identify as these derogatory terms. You know what I'm saying? And when you identify as that and you speak that shit, you become that shit because word is born. That's your power. When God created creation, he spoke it into existence. He thought it first, then spoke it. You know what I'm saying? Then it came to be. That's our same power. Hence, we are made in his image and in his likeness. We have that same ability, but it's just, a little limited due to our continual bombardment with distractions and how we've been programmed to be so limited as human beings from, what I'm saying, our early childhood. They really went hard. That's why school was designed the way it is. Like you gotta look into, who fucking created the education system, especially here in America. Like who was behind all this academia and what was, what I'm saying, put in place via the laws and all these things. Like you have to look at the mechanism behind the machine, the things that's going on. You can't just see it for face value and just take it as that. Like you have to look behind all that shit. You have to dig deep, and start to discover the names of these individuals. And they're all related to, a certain group of people. I'm not even gonna say it, but the J Mafia, the J Mafia. If any of you get what I'm saying, what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. I ain't even gonna say it because every time somebody say something about these motherfuckers, fucking shit get cut off or they get fucking demonetized, all sorts of shit happens. So, just learn from Nick Cannon. Hey, you if you follow up on that shit, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I'm not even gonna mention that shit. But as I'm saying, the secret art of essokinesis, this is the thing that they do. So with that being known, you yourself have to apply this knowledge, not only for yourself, but for the people that you feel are coming into contact with this sort of information and understanding. So you yourself are an esokinetic individual. You have this ability to manipulate your own goddamn reality as well as those around you. If you're, that dedicated enough, but preferably you just should focus on your own goddamn self because there's no saving anybody. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much you may love your grandma who's been alive for 80 years, 90 years, her mind is, what I'm saying, already set a certain way, just like your mom, dad, whoever, and even your friends that's your age. Like everybody, especially as adults, like we all have our fucking beliefs and ideas and conclusions that become barriers to anything new or alternative from what we already know. So that becomes a stagnant force to some degree. You know what I'm saying? If you're not able to open your mind to something that's different from what you already know, then that is a form of ignorance, you know? And if you're ignorant to things that are new to you, then you're potentially blocking out things that can enhance your not only your thinking but your life. Because when you enhance your thinking, your life ultimately enhances because you have more knowledge. Knowledge is power. The more you know, the more power you have. That's why I say peace is power, because within peace there is this inner knowingness, there is this all knowingness. You know what I'm saying? That silent, that inner stillness, which is this silence of the mind. That's when God speaks the most. That's when the Most High speaks the most. Whatever you want to call the force that spawned all of creation and that sustains all of creation. You know. So the secret art of essokinesis, that is what these individuals, or I'll say just psychopaths, use to pretty much trap our consciousness in this invisible matrix that is a multi-layered and multi-dimensional matrix. Now, mind you, let me get into this real quick so people can really understand this. There is the matrix of paper fiction, which is what we've been subject to since our birth, by way of social security cards, by way of birth certificates, by way of paper debt. I mean, paper fiction such as money, fiat currency. You know what I'm saying? It's not real. It's all debt. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. Is nothing backing the shit up. You know what I mean? So that's already, and then the laws and everything that's been put in place as well. You know what I'm saying, to benefit certain classes of people. That's why when you see this whole Black Lives Matter movement, you should know it's absolute bullshit because it's not our movement as a people. You know what I'm saying? It's not a fucking movement. That shit was hijacked from the fucking Ferguson event when it actually was conceived of by real individuals that were affected by the police brutality in that area. They hijacked it, these investors and big name individuals who wanted to pretty much fund it and turn it into some sort of organization to fulfill their own agenda. You know what I'm saying? It has absolutely nothing to do with our shit. If it did, they wouldn't have done what they did with the case with Breonna Taylor and all these other incidents where there's injustice. You got motherfuckers on the street with signs forever screaming "No justice, no peace." Well, you don't realize on a level, uh, on a psychological and spiritual, metaphysical level that you're fucking affirming that. You're manifesting that. You continually chanting "No justice, no peace." You're continuing that. You're perpetuating that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I digress from what I was gonna say. Like the whole Matrix thing, right? So there's the paper fiction, which is the Matrix. That's one form of it, right? And then you have the ideological matrices, which is the matrix of your religious beliefs, your familial societal beliefs that have been imposed upon you since birth and your upbringing. You know what I'm saying? That limits you because you're not questioning anything outside of that. You're just identifying as these terms, these labels, these things. And that is a matrix, you see. And then you get into the technological matrix, which is these phones, such as I'm using. You know, it's a benefit. Everything has a pro and con, but there's, you know, honestly more cons than pros to when it comes to a lot of this shit. So, and I'm not saying that to be pessimistic or to down anybody, but you know, we just looking at shit for what it actually is. You know what I mean? So that the technological shit, such as, you know, the buildings that we have, you know what I'm saying? Like if you look at buildings prior to the 20th century, here in America especially, the buildings were designed a lot more, you know, sophisticated in a sense where the geometrical shapes of it were more, it looked more like, you know, valid Victorian buildings in Europe, but it's really Moorish architecture. You know what I'm saying? It's really based on, the architecture was, you know, designed for Moorish designers. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Moors are the original people of this land, but that's a whole nother topic and shit. But a lot of the buildings were, you know, beautifully designed and crafted and had a very like high vibrational type of feel to its architectural design because it was geometrically aligned with things. You see what I'm saying? But for some reason, there was a fucking global reset where, you know, they just completely demolished these buildings and reconstructed them as these big giant ass Lego blocks we see today. It's just fucking big ass tall rectangles standing in the sky. And that in itself is a matrix that holds consciousness, that it retains it. Like it doesn't allow it to be boundless as, you know, a Taj Mahal fucking architectural building. You know what I'm saying? Or a fucking pyramid. You know what I'm saying? Because the square, the cube is a matrix, like it is a limiting sort of fucking energy, like on a metaphysical level, it is like a energetic blockage, you know? That's why whenever you graduate high school and shit, they give you this cap, which is a fucking square. You put it over your head, your fucking crown chakra. For those of you who love to talk about chakras and shit, put it over your crown chakra, you know what I'm saying, which cuts off that infinite wisdom and knowingness that that connects you to source energy, right? To primordial energy. It limits that because that's what that shape does on a metaphysical level on other dimensions. See, everything is multi-dimensional. Like a square on a piece of paper is a fucking square. Like it's just a two-dimensional thing. But on a fucking three-dimensional level, it becomes a cube, and then on a fourth dimensional, it's something else. On the fifth and sixth and seventh dimension, it is something else. So understanding that, you see how the buildings and these phones, like it's always rectangles, everything is boxes. These boxes are matrices that trap consciousness, that limits, the infinite expansion of consciousness, of intelligence that is contained within consciousness, you see? So it's not all just bad fucking accident. Like for God's sake, fucking Washington D.C. was designed by Masonic, Freemasonic individuals. You know what I mean? It was designed by Freemasonic individuals to a T with perfect geometrical, you know what I'm saying, symmetry. So being aware of these sorts of different things when it comes to the platonic shapes and the metaphysical qualities to these shapes on different dimensions, not just this three dimension, and how they affect not only our consciousness but our bodies and different levels of our being. You know what I mean? Like it's just so many different layers, and there's so many different layers that I can't even get into it in this live stream. You know what I'm saying? I'll be here all fucking night till the fucking morning explaining this shit. But just understanding the secret art of Essokinesis, which is what they use to trap us in their desired world. You know what I'm saying? But we have this ability of exokinetic power to generate and manipulate our own experience of reality for our own benefit. So they notice, so they have to pretty much distract the fuck out of us, limit the fuck out of us, and make us ignorant as fuck of this power so they can continue to benefit from this power that we have. Because they're using us to generate shit. Just look at predictive programming. Excuse me, like look at predictive programming, like with the whole 9/11 thing and different other world events. You see these sorts of you see clues to these events leading up to the actual event, years, months prior to the goddamn actual occurrence of the fucking event. You know what I mean? That's all a form of higher alchemy and shit and magic. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very, very high sorcery. You know what I mean? Like fucking flawless sorcery to be honest. But we all have that ability too, but we just not aware of it, and it's on purpose because that's why and anybody that doubt what is being said or whatever, you can question whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not saying believe and take anything. I don't give a fuck. You do what the fuck you want to do. Just fucking question this shit and ask questions and fucking come to know what the fuck it is this shit you're in with. You know what I mean? Like this shit is malleable, meaning this shit can change. Like this shit is transformative. That's why I was talking about this whole thing with the disease shit, like with this coronavirus and whatever the fuck else out here. Like if you can think something, right? If you can have a thought in your mind about something that makes you happy and you feel happiness in the chest area and the abdomen and heart, whatever, like that's a fucking that's a physical change from thought, something that is not physical, right? That's proof in itself that thought affects matter. It affects your body quicker because the thought is emitting from your brain, neurological, you know what I'm saying? The neurosynaptic connections and shit, like it's emitting these thoughts or whatever, which is actually occurring with the mind, but the mind is not something contained in the brain. That's a whole nother topic, but the mind is just definitely be aware that the mind is not something contained in the fucking brain. The mind is an infinite field that's stretching across consciousness itself, which is why we can think about somebody and that person might call us right after we fucking think about it. You know what I mean? That explains that. But besides that, that's a whole nother thing, you know what I mean? But back to what I was saying, it's just understanding like when you think, matter changes. You know what I'm saying? This is what the ancients knew. This is what they used to levitate fucking rocks in the air to build these goddamn temples and pyramids and shit. They won't fucking using thousands of men like they try to make it seem like it's some whole physical endeavor. Oh yeah, they got 1,000 niggas pulling big ass bricks and shit. Like nah, these people fucking understood our ancestors. They understood the science. This is where the science come from. This is where these dark, satanic, psychotic, evil programmers of human consciousness got this knowledge from. And this is the shit they're using against us. You know what I mean? The people that we descend from that you that pretty much, you know what I mean, put the shit into place for us to fucking use. Or for them to use the highest mysteries or whatever, and, you know what I'm saying, Egypt and all that shit. But it's just like I said, the average person is not aware of this, even though this information is readily available on the internet. It goes to show you that wherever you direct your attention to, you know what I'm saying, that's where, you know what I mean, what's gonna come out of it. So you somebody that's watching Cardi B and all this bullshit and all this presidential debate. I mean, you can watch it and shit and be aware and shit, but I mean, if your mind is only engrossed in that, like that's all you know, and that's all you give a fuck to know about. And this shit I'm talking about, anything else somebody else is talking about that's alternative to that shit, and you just turn a blind eye to it, or you just can't even, you know what I mean, fathom or hear that shit, is like that's the average person out here. And it goes to show you like where we at. But I mean, I'm grateful that there's other individuals like those of you that are watching that on this platform and elsewhere, you know what I mean, that are aware of such things, and are resonating with what is being said here and elsewhere by others that are on the same sort of frequency wavelength and shit, right? You know what I mean? Like it's a blessing to even be aware of each other, because it's like, damn, like when you come across this sort of knowledge and shit, it's like, damn, like am I the only motherfucker out here that really know or is questioning or asking these sorts of, you know what I mean? Like you gotta, like, it's something to be grateful for. And being grateful is one of the secret keys to, mastering life too, because the more grateful you are, the more you have to be grateful for. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's one of the scriptures in Psalm, the book of Psalms and shit that said, like, like the more you praise the Lord and shit, like the more you gonna have to praise the Lord for. Like that's just how it goes. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just law. That's just universal spiritual law. Like when you work with these laws, that's when things really change, because like, that's the secret God power that's within us, that's written in the hearts of men and women all over this earth. You know what I'm saying? So like when you really understand that, you understand that you are, an alchemist, you are esokinetic being that can change and manipulate reality at will by, your concentrative energy, which is very precious. That's why I said that. That's why I tweeted that earlier. Like, cherish your concentrative and attentive energy, because that's what they're attacking the most. You know what I'm saying? Like every single second, you got a fucking advertisement popping up on your phone. You got a video. You got somebody calling you. You got all this shit going on, problems in life, and like your mind never have a chance to just be focused on one thing completely. And when you focus on one thing completely, that's when the magic happens. You see what I'm saying? This is how, yogis can sit up in the mountains for 12 years just meditating and start fucking floating or set themselves on fire and shit and be alive, like African shamans, Native American shamans, Asian shamans, like they can do all these miraculous things because they have mastered the ability to concentrate. That's why the average person out here cannot concentrate. You know what I'm saying? It's so bad to the point where even myself, like, I noticed the difference. Like, it's like I can't really. I mean, I can, but I have to put forth effort to really concentrate or go into like a deep trance like I used to. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? Like that trance state is the magical state. That is the bridge to that whole, subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is the bridge to the spiritual shit. You know what I mean? The subconscious mind itself is not the spiritual shit. Like that's what a lot of people get confused. Like the subconscious mind is the etheric network of all the data that is housed in the mind, and that is facilitating this data and this programming and generating the experiences in correspondence with whatever the content of that data is. And when you tap into that, you can consciously go there via the astral plane, astral projection, lucid dreaming, all that. You're interfacing with that etheric network that is the subconscious mind. That's not the spiritual realm itself. It's just an interface for the get to the bridge of that, because the spiritual is truly the unknown. Like that is beyond, the perceptible reality that we experience. You know what I'm saying? That's beyond the ego mind. You know what I'm saying? Like that's beyond this body mind. Like that's soul territory, you know what I'm saying? That solar shit, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much what I just wanted to expound on a bit. And I thank all of you for, joining in, and whoever else that see this after it's been recorded. You know what I'm saying? Give thanks, peace, and guidance always. You know what I mean? We'll continue to go live, and I hope this live stream won't glitchy and shit. I hope it was smooth and seamless, you know. But I'm gonna continue to go live, and I'm gonna upload more videos and stuff like that with my new camera. I'm recording on my phone right now. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, just question this shit. Don't accept someone else's idea of reality. Don't accept what the fuck you've been told. You know what I'm saying? Like, the mind is the most powerful thing there is in this experience because everything is fucking mental. So when you focus on that, get to the source. That's what I said. It's like either you're gonna eternally whack at the weeds or you're gonna get to the source of this shit. Like I was gonna say before, I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna get off of this. But like about the whole disease thing was coronavirus and all this bullshit. Like for real, like I feel like I had that shit at the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? I really feel like I had that shit before the damn outbreak. Cause my homeboy came to my house and shit one night or whatever, and like he pulled up. I sat in the whip with him and shit, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm sick, dog, blah blah blah." And in that exact moment, my mind, like the thought came to my mind, like, "Oh shit, man, this thing might get me sick." Da da da. Da. The next thing I know, the next day, I'm fucking feeling the same symptoms and shit. And then I ended up, what I'm saying, seeing my mom, and then she got the symptoms because you know what I mean, like the same thought crossed her mind and shit. You know what I mean? And then it happened like that. You know what I'm saying? So and it took, what I mean, about 2 weeks to get rid of that, what I mean, just for, deliberate, concentration as well as eating the right shit and drinking the right shit and taking medicine, everything, doing everything for real. Just keeping faith that that shit, you know what I'm saying, will fucking pass and it passed. Thank God. I really thought I was gonna die. You know what I'm saying? But again, it just keep your mind right. Keep thinking right. Keep thinking positive. Keep that positive mental imagery in your mind to the point where anything outside this world that is a negative influence cannot penetrate that positive self-image that you have in your mind. You have to have it built like that because it's so much bullshit that they are trying to impose upon us with all this disease and all this bullshit. Like, don't accept no fucking disease. Like every year, you notice about yeah, you gotta get this flu shot, you gotta get this, you ain't gotta get shit. All you gotta do is keep your fucking mind right. Keep your fucking mind right, and your cells will respond to that image in your mind, which is a thought. Is a thought. You know what I'm saying? It will respond to that and it will be healthy. And if you still have any doubt about anything I'm saying, you can test this shit out. Get yourself or cook yourself some rice, right? Put the fucking put one portion of the rice in one jar or container, right? And put another one in another container. And you get yourself a label. You write on the label, you know what I'm saying, like good vibes on one jar. You put that label on there, and then you put like bad vibes or some shit like that on the other jar. And the jar that you put the label on that says good vibes, you just speak positive things to it, and you know what I'm saying, just loving thoughts and words, kind words, compassionate words to that batch of rice in this container or jar, glass, whatever the fuck you got it in, and then you do the direct opposite of that with the glass jar container that says the bad vibes. You just speak all sorts of negative, ill willful, fucking, you know what I'm saying, just dirty ass, you know what I'm saying, malignant type fucking speech upon that batch of rice. You know what I'm saying? To speak negative ass shit on that, curse at it, condemn it, you know what I'm saying, for about a week or two and watch one glass jar remain intact while the other one corrodes, you know what I'm saying, just ugly. Like it becomes like just watch it become so grossly ugly and just watch the other one, you know what I'm saying, just corrode and you know what I'm saying, start to rot the natural way. It won't look as bad. You know what I'm saying? So you could that's a test. That's a test you can do yourself to prove to yourself to or revalidate for yourself that you know what I'm saying, all is mental, all is mind, you know what I mean? So with that being said, peace and guys. Until next time, I'm out.